Welcome back to the CCS Season 5 Championship presented by the Collegiate Conference Series. I'm back with Tronus, number 2 out of the Midwest, Ball State. The Cardinals take on 15 seed Villanova from the Big East.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this one plays out. Obviously, getting to see Ball State again, Villanova kind of being one of the final teams in, getting the Big East a third bid. But I mean, Ball State is a team. Obviously, if you know collegiate rugby league, you've heard of Ball State before. Obviously, this is Ball State Black, but this is obviously an incredibly dangerous team. It's finally good to see the Midwest, the rest of the bracket filling out for round number 2, and the winner of this one takes on Middle Tennessee State, and they look scary, Nation. I got to admit.
It looked good to close regular season. Again, they beat FIU in the conference tournament championship game to get to this tournament as a 7th seed, and then they handled UMass with ease together on your broadcast. And then now tonight, look at the winner of this game, and maybe they can give Ball State a run for their money, or Villanova. We'll have to wait and see who it is. But maybe they make it interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Ball State, they are a favorite for top 16, top 8. I mean, a lot of people, I think, are interested to see if they get through the first 2 rounds cleanly and Cincinnati get through the first 2 rounds cleanly. I think a lot of people are anticipated to see that 2-3 matchup. That could be a really interesting one to keep an eye on.
I could just waiting on Villanova to let us know they're ready to roll, and we'll get you guys straight down to the field for game 1. Okay, there we go. Players ready, join us down to the field. Game number 1, Ball State, Villanova.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how Villanova show up and show out. Obviously, going toe-to-toe with a team like Ball State, it's not going to be easy, but we'll see what they're able to do against the 2 seed in the Midwest. I mean, we've seen Villanova quite a bit. We know they can play up to a high level, but will Ball State Black be too high of a level?
We'll have to wait and see. It's game 1 already underway, and again, it's win or go home, Jonas. So you got 1 life to win 4 games.
Yeah, you gotta do it all here. I mean, you want your season to, of course, extend. Villanova being one of the last teams in the field to get a bid from the committee. Obviously, happy that their season is continuing on, but you get that higher seed, and now you're going toe to toe with a team like Ball State. So we'll see how Villanova adapt, how they play against probably easily the best team they played against so far this season.
This would be a big test for Villanova. Ball State, though, have played about a harder schedule as anyone in the country, so they've played a lot of good teams early, Jonas, and it could only be a good experience going forward here in the tournament as their schedule's going to get tougher and tougher to advance.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a good look for Ball State. I mean, ultimately, the one team to really give them trouble, of course, in the MAC is going to be the reigning champs of Akron Gold, and they haven't been able to overcome that team quite yet, but maybe in the tournament we might see something as Old Tour slots this top right. You can't place it any better than that.
Yeah, it could be a regional final on a Saturday night between Ball State and Akron if they are to advance to that regional final game. But again, there's still 4 rounds away from that for Ball State.
Yeah, there's still a lot of time for Ball State to try and get through, and obviously they have to try and get through this team in Villanova first. But yeah, I'm expecting big things out of Ball State. I mean, obviously you have that name and likeness to you. You're very much expecting the rep to kind of carry them far. I mean, Ball State, they did struggle in non-conference nation, but then again, they got one of the hardest non-conference schedule there was. I mean, in week 1, they went down 0-2. They got swept by Radford, lost in game 5 to Mizzou. Then they also took on Michigan State, who they got swept by, and then they finally took on UTA, who they had no problem dealing with. But you mentioned that one of the toughest schedules in the country, and that's it's being in a conference with Akron, and of course having a non-conference slate like that, it makes it difficult.
And it does, and they play one of the hardest schedules in the country. But again, after this, it's Middle Tennessee State, who has been a threat to a lot of teams lately, and then it's Cincinnati or Louisville's. Cincinnati could be a tough test as well to get to that regional final where Akron should await them.
Yeah, I would very much expect it. It's tough to see Akron getting knocked out by anyone earlier than that. I mean, even so, they might run into trouble with, Iowa State or Maryland. That could be potential. I think they should be able to get through round 2 just fine, as Ultor will add on another. Ball State. They're cruising to open up this series.
2 goals from the first half of play, 2:27 on the clock, and Villanova's defense still no answers quite yet to Ball State's offensive pressure.
I mean, Nova, they've done well putting on a little bit of pressure themselves. I mean, they're out shooting Ball State right now, but ultimately their shots haven't been quite as threatening as Jesse's picked up 4 of the 5 saves for BSU. Now, Variety looking for a demo. Jesse crashes in, 50'd well. We'll head back to Variety, gets around 1, gets the reset, taking his time, looking for the bump. No, it's going to be Ultor who cleans it up off the backboard. He's got a hattie.
Ultor, 3 goals in just 3 minutes, Jonas. He's averaging a goal a minute here.
I mean, that was a beauty of a pass from Variety. And, you know, all 3 of his goals do have assists attached to it. Variety, that was his second. Jesse got 1 as well. And ultimately, just being able to work together well as a team, keep that offensive efficiency up it's kind of been the name of the game for Ball State all season long. As Jesse, nice touch off the backboard, still on a threatening look as LJ's, and he will put this one away.
Minute 53, the Cats gonna find their first of the tournament, Jonas. They're still looking for their first ever CCS championship victory. So again, they've dropped in the first round the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, I mean, last season they got round 1'd by Penn State. That was a that was a tough one, having to take on Penn State round 1. Did take a game off of Penn State, but couldn't get much more than that. And then, yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say. Did they participate in the playoffs in season 3?
They did, I believe. I don't remember though. I think so.
We'll check it out later, but ultimately, yeah, last season in the same 64 team format, yeah, they did drop Penn State, and that was a tough pull, and now they got an even tougher pull in Ball State this season, and mostly that being because of Xavier, who really shook things up in the conference tournament, and they were able to win themselves a higher seed and move Nova down quite a bit.
Still got in though, one of the last teams in the field. It's a 15 seed Old Tour trying to put this one away for a 4th that he's gonna find.
Yeah, and Ultor is just automatic here. I mean, Variety picking up another assist, just this soft touch middle, and no one up early enough to challenge that, and giving Ultor all the time and space he could ever want. 4-1, go BSU. And yeah, the Cardinals, I mean, they just look so comfortable early.
Ultor's got 4 goals, still averaging a goal a minute here, Jonas, in game number 1, and now he's 1 goal away from making sure he's a goal for a minute. Is Variety going to put this one away potentially? No, the rebound. It's Jesse's got his first of the tournament.
Yeah, just adding on another here as Variety will pick up 1 more assist. Got the pre-jump off Ultor. Couldn't put it on target. Doesn't matter. That's why he got a 3rd, and 5-1 go Ball State. And do you think we see BSU kind of let their foot off the gas a little bit in this one?
I don't quite know how BSU are when it comes to when they have a big lead. I'm not quite sure if they're kind of like Akron earlier, where they're just going to troll, or if they're still going to, fully lock in and make sure that they put as many goals on the board as they can.
Well, there's a little, that was a little bit of trolling from Variety. Now, LJS just walking in front of Jesse, not letting him get any free looks. Maybe a look here for the Cats. Milky Boy wanting the demo. He'll take out Jesse, and that one will roll on through.
And it's a second for the Wildcats of Villanova. 20 seconds to go, and Ball State, another one there, but again, they don't have to panic. There's only 20 seconds left. A 3-goal lead should be fine.
Yeah, they really are doing just fine, and yeah, they're not going to be too worried altogether in Villanova. I mean, looking for anything they can get in this one. Maybe another look here. No, Ultor will steer it away cleanly. Now trying to get a read on Milky Boy, is searching for that 6th goal. But yeah, time will tick down, and a very comfortable game 1 win for Ball State. Maybe 1 more. No, LJS couldn't double it. That's game 1.
Ball State dominant. Game 1, that is, well, I mean, Ultor had 4 for Ball State, almost a goal a minute, but it's just a goal and 15 seconds, a minute and 15 seconds to go, which still is really good.
Yeah, ultimately just a lot of good pressure out of Ball State early. I mean, got those 11 shots, and mostly just Jesse and Variety serving up Ultor, getting him 4 for 6. Villanova, they still had a good bit of offensive pressure, 9 shots, but a little bit quieter in their shooting. Again, Ball State, they look to just have full control of the field, and that really didn't slip at any moment, I don't think.
Not at all. I mean, it was just pure domination from start to finish there for Ball State. We'll see if they can continue that up here in game 2. As 5 minutes put back on the clock for Villanova to make an answer.
Yeah, and they need to answer quick. We always talk about these higher seeded teams who are going against these, the best in the CCS, having to get started early. That's exactly what Nova have to try and do, but it's always easier said than done.
That it is, and some teams have done really good at that this tournament, though, getting started early and putting these higher seeds on upset watch, which it seems like the underdog has been favored to kick off these series, but then the higher seed really locks in and puts them away.
Yeah, I mean, it really has been like that for so much of these matches. I mean, we have seen, obviously we saw the other 2-15 matchup over in the East go a little bit awry for Radford versus Quinnipiac. The Bobcats took that one to 7 and did get reverse swept, but they gave the Highlanders of Radford a fright.
The 2 seed is 7-0 right now against the 15 seed. Ball State trying to make that 8-0 for 2 perfect tournaments so far. As an air dribble bump attempt there is no good. Wide right as Oldport trying to recover.
Jesse's going to have the open look, and he'll take it. It's going to be Ball State breaking the ice once again, and the defense just couldn't quite hold, as no one expecting that double, and LJS just couldn't quite reach that touch.
A 1-0 start, and Ball State back to scoring early, getting just 1 minute down. It's another Ball State goal for the Cardinal offense, and Villanova still no interest, is now at 2-on-2.
And maybe a look here for Jesse. No, AJ will find the block. And it is kind of interesting, Nation. We've had now back-to-back seasons, and as we have a one at the midfield, but between is that LJS and Ultor, it won't matter. Variety will put one away. But again, either way, we've had back-to-back seasons where a 15 seed has taken a 2 seed to Game 7. Last season, it was Florida and UNT.
Yeah, man, this season it was, I already forgot who it was. Radford and
it was
Quinnipiac. Yeah, it's happened. It almost happened a couple times. So this season, Milky Boy, though, going to put Villanova on the board.
Yeah, just being able to sneak through early on here. I mean, a little bit of a delayed kickoff, just went straight through Variety and Jesse and Ultor. I think a slight bit of hesitation, might have been able to reach it, but I think he was more worried about getting faked.
Absolutely. 3:31 to go, and Villanova's offense able to find one, but again, they're still trailing, trying to find yet another response to get this game back to level. As 3:25 from the clock, plenty of time though still remaining.
Variety, good first touch, not a ton of boost to keep things going. We'll leave it for Jesse for a shot. Milky Boy not too threatened. Ultor up to it. Milky Boy goes through him. LJS. This one will be cut down. Quick turnaround for the Cardinals. Variety, low boost again. Reset trying to play it into the wave dash. AJ trying to spin it around. Jesse can't do so. Into the backboard. This one cleared away by LJS, and it's all the way good.
2-all. The Cats have come from behind to tie game number 2 up at 2 apiece, and LJ barely going to beat Jesse there in the challenge.
Yeah, just a absolutely massive clear, and no one from Ball State able to get there in time. And Nova, I mean, this is kind of similar to Dayton Nation. I mean, we're seeing, I think less trolling out of Ball State, but it's one of those things where Ball State, they're still running things. They still have they're still setting the pace. They still seem to have full and complete control, but Villanova is doing well hanging in there.
So far, so good. But Jesse trying to put the Cardinals back in the lead here. Variety off the corner, no double there. Sets up Ultor, fires wide. Be back for Jesse here. The corner missed in front now. Villanova a chance to take the lead here. That they're not going to do.
And that one being a little bit scary for the Cards. Now Jesse trying to get right back into it. 50's LJ through 20 boost, pops it towards Variety. No, it will go towards the far corner, cut middle by Ultor. LJ gets a piece of it. It's cleared away again. The defense looking much more in control from Villanova.
It's got to be a good sign, though. Their defense can hold up with the pace of Ball State's offense. This could be in for an interesting series if Villanova can find a way to will their way to at least 1 or 2 game victories and make this interesting.
Yeah, very well could, and you're starting to see their challenges looking better and better, seeming to get a better read of Ball State now. Milky Boy, not a ton of boost to work with. Low reset, blocked by Jesse. I'm just intrigued to see how their offense is able to compete. We're seeing their defense looking sharper, but of course, you got to have that offensive side of the ball too. Jesse looking for a late touch, not going to get it. AJ sidewall. Variety misses. Could be a big counter opportunity for the Wildcats.
Minute 20 to go. Plenty of time for Ball State to get back in front of a huge pitch. This should be a goal. No, it's not. LJ back in time for the save as Villanova now going to go back to defense still again as Otor trying to keep the Cardinal offense at bay.
Now Jesse snapshot. This one will be placed beautifully bottom right. Makes it 3-2 as Villanova just couldn't quite keep their defense together. You can see that slight double commit in the corner, and then no one can reach that.
67 seconds. Jesse gonna put the Cardinals back in the lead here, and 1:07 to play. Villanova's season could be in jeopardy with another loss.
Yeah, of course they don't want to let this get any further than it already has. I mean, you look at it just being one game so far, but you know it's so quickly can reach to that second game and then that third, and then you have to try and reverse sweep against one of the best teams in the nation, and then it might just be over.
And it could. Otor wants another one. There it is. 4-2. The Cardinals in front by 2.
4-2 on the scoreline. 42 seconds left to go. Ultimately, another nice send middle from Variety, and Otor there as the shooter, and LJ just tried to backflip and get in the way. Couldn't quite reach it. Ball State, we're starting to see that offensive momentum kind of step right back into the limelight. Nova being forced back on their own side. Maybe a look here for Milky Boy. Gets around one, gets bumped out. However, LJ will play it well towards the corner, trying to accelerate middle. Jesse will hold it there, and Ball State, you got to think they're more than capable of holding another 30 seconds.
Absolutely agreed, but the tournament's unforgiving, so anything can happen in a round of 64, even throughout the course of next weekend's round of 32 on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because we could see Ball State make it all the way to Sunday if they can beat Akron.
Yeah, that would be a huge upset. Obviously on paper it would be a 2 seed over a 1 seed, but we know that Ball State have not been able to take down this Akron team playing in the same conference, and it'll be interesting to see if they'd be able to do that come tournament time. Maybe one last look here for Nova to pick up one. Just carrying it all the way is AJ. Will finally get blocked, but yeah, I think I definitely want to see that matchup, and I want to see how Ball State can do when their whole season's on the line.
High stakes are fun to watch it. When it's a close series, it's Ball State going to jump out to 2-0 with Villanova here after a 0-second goal from Friday. Makes it 5-2 the final.
Yeah, just wanted to pick up that extra one. Nova tried to put the 0-second goal away, got turned away, and went right back the other way for BSU. But yeah, a quick 2-0 up, and you can just see how comfortable this Ball State team looks. Villanova, they're still fighting well. They're still picking up goals here and there. Still seeing some nice defensive looks, but it's just not enough.
Well, the defense has been good at the start of these games, holding Ball State to just 1 or 2 goals in the first half, but then the back half has been where they're getting burned, and so we'll see if they can play a full 5-minute effort here.
Yeah, it's still fun to watch because Villanova, they are a solid team. Not having the best results in this season, but I think we've seen what this team is capable of when they're really firing on all cylinders, and it is really intriguing to see them play. And obviously, coming in as a low seed, that makes things a heck of a lot tougher, but all you got to do is fight.
That you do. Villanova going to put up some more effort into that fight as the first 10 minutes haven't quite been enough here as Ball State's got a 2-0 lead.
And LJ, a little bit of a dangerous spot, will chip it over. Otor gets a little bit of room to work. Flicks early. AJ pops it over. Jesse Variety. Delay that flip towards the corner. Otor Nobu still just nudges across. Milky Boy looking for AJ, but he's eliminated. Now rushing down the field is Ball State. Otor has Jesse middle, but Milky Boy will send it back away, and Ball State still trying to keep the offense going.
Villanova still stuck in their defensive side as Ball State's offense continuing to have a siege here. There's a finish from Otor. It's good for 1.
Yeah, who else but Otor to get on the board first for Ball State. Variety, good bit of work. Thought he was about to get that reset too, but ended up working out for Otor, who was storming in there, able to put the shot on. So just over a minute, but Ball State will connect. Villanova, again, that defense just needs to lock up a little bit tighter.
The early goal has already come through for the finish for Villanova. LJ equalizes quickly.
Yeah, nice response here. AJ took it well off the corner immediately, just snapping it into the ceiling, and that's one of those plays that it's always tough to read those ceiling bounces. You know, you're waiting on the backboard as a defender, trying to expect something around the corner. Suddenly it's dropping straight down middle and there's a shooter there and you just can't reach it.
Zoltor missing a touch there. LJ trying to finish a second, no good. Variety will hold that attack offer now as, Ball State getting heavy favorites to advance to the regional final with Akron as Jesse buries a Cardinal lead again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting this team to make it. I mean, that's what I'm predicting. I think them versus Cincinnati, if both teams do get there, that could be really, really fun to watch in the third round. I mean, it would be exciting to see those two teams compete. I still think Ball State would be the favorites in it, but Cincinnati, I mean, they've looked good.
How do you think Cincinnati or Middle Tennessee State fare with this Ball State squad?
I'm really interested to see Middle Tennessee State as Jesse will put away this open net here off the backboard miss. I mean, Middle Tennessee State, I think could surprise Ball State a little bit. I still think the Cardinals should be able to deal just fine, but I do think MTSU could give them a bit of a fright. Cincinnati, I think they're much more in line to kind of try and actually take the series, but I think when Ball State are playing their best, I think they can easily make it to that regional final.
We'll have to wait and see what happens. Can they still get through the night first before they get to next Friday where they'll play Middle Tennessee State and then Saturday against Cincinnati or Louisville and then potentially Akron to close the night.
I mean, that'll be an interesting one to see. I mean, it is tough that I think, there's two regions in the East and the Midwest where the top two teams to make it to the regional finals are conference competitors. As Old Tour 1v3 slice and dice and a bump to finish it puts Ball State up 4-1.
And what a finish from Old Tour there. 2:31 to go. Completely fakes the defense, and it is a 3-goal lead here for Ball State.
Yeah, back to my point. I think it's just interesting to see, Ball State and Akron are, likely to be the top teams out of the Midwest, and obviously they're, conference rivals in the MAC, and they've been competing all season long. And then over in the East region, you have Drexel and Northeastern, who it looked like Radford was going to be that top team, that second team to come out of the East alongside Drexel, but after a bit of a scare, in round number 1 versus Quinnipiac, I think Northeastern are much more of a solid favorites in that realm. So, I mean, I would expect those two teams to be in that regional final, and obviously them being conference rivals as well. It's just kind of interesting to see. We'll most likely be seeing those rematches, but in a single elimination tournament setting.
And anything can happen in single elim. So, Ball State, when their season's on the line, could play a step higher and might not be enough for Akron to deal with. Eventually, it could be that their night, but we'll have to wait and see what happens then. But tonight, Ball State still has to get through Villanova.
Yeah, and they are on pace to do it as of right now, but the Cats still trying to give it their all. Less than 90 seconds left here in game number 3. Maybe a look for LJ. What a look on the angle. Can't put it away. AJ slots it. No, it's going to be an own goal.
That was almost an incredible shot there from LJ. From the wing, perfect placement and almost good for a second there, but Variety let that one trickle in.
Yeah, it looked like he tripped over Jesse and own goal that one. I think LJ, unfortunately, you don't say it a lot. He got too much power there. As if that was just a little bit softer, might have dropped in off the crossbar, or might have just gone straight in. But instead, it kind of bounced off the crossbar and out, and that's what really eliminated that one. As Jesse will sneak his way through the midfield, but approaching the final minute of regulation here in game number 3, Ball State just looking to hold on to the lead they built.
And LJ now from midfield going to look to get Villanova a look to a third goal here as Milky Boy way far back, deep third for the Cats defense, so he will get around one. Jess next to the challenge over a second one-on-one. LJ fires wide. No rebound yet in attack mode for Villanova. Milky a miss, now back in front of snapshot, couldn't go. Old Tour off the save.
I'm really liking this offensive look from Villanova. I can't lie. I mean, a lot of high pressure starting to push those players up. Even with low boost, you can see them jumping and going for these touches that's going to at least threaten Ball State, and that's a much better look on the offensive end. They just need to keep on pushing, and unfortunately, it might be too little too late here in game number 3, but if they can keep that kind of offense up in game 4, they might be willing to either work their way back or at least steal that one game.
Well, see what they can do in game 4. They're going to trail 3-0 as Ball State 5 minutes away from next Friday's round of 32.
Yeah, and they're still looking cozy in this matchup. They don't seem too threatened. I mean, they're still conceding a few here and there. Villanova obviously showing that they're still in it, but you know, Ultor leading the way offensively still and leading the way defensively too, having 5 saves all by his lonesome. And you're still seeing that pressure from Nova again, out shooting Ball State 11-6 in that one, but unfortunately just not quite as efficient.
Yeah, they had that one stretch. They put on a couple of shots. It really had Ball State in a bad defensive stance, so they still were holding the line well, and had that look have gone their way to 1-goal game with a couple seconds left.
Yeah, and those are the situations you want to try and get in. I mean, ultimately doing, you know, whatever you can to get it close, and then maybe just have that one bounce go your way, that one kickoff really go your way. That being said, game number 4, Villanova need to try and reverse sweep a 2-seed of Ball State to keep their season alive.
Well, we've seen one reverse sweep on this 2-15 seed line series, but it did go the way of the 2-seed, not the 15 seed. So this is the reverse scenario of that, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, a little bit different, I think, when the lower seed is going to be able to do it. But that being said, maybe a look here early for Nova, not quite, not a ton of boost to work with. As Ultor will clear it away for the Cards. 20 seconds already gone. Jesse snapping this one on target. LJ, a nice early save. Variety into the backboard, reset, trying to find the finish, trying to dunk it through the post, can't quite find it.
That was almost an incredible finish there for Variety with 30 seconds off the clock, and Ball State, their first offensive attack, goes haywire.
Now Ultor to a pre-jumping Variety, lining up a double no, couldn't get there. Now a big ground pinch from AJ to buy some much needed time and space for the Cats as Jesse double off the sidewall. Variety getting through Milky Boy. AJ left in 3v1, multiple Cardinals pre-jumping, but all 3 go into 3v. Nothing. Milky Boy will tap it in for Nova.
Villanova, their first lead of the night, 3:59 to go, 1 minute down. It's a Wildcat lead for the first time tonight.
Yeah, and that's one of those situations where you just see Ball State. You know, we talked about how comfortable they've been, Nation. They got too comfortable. They sent all 3 diving in on, you know, kind of a ball rolling up the backboard, and then Ultor jumped at one a little bit more towards the midfield, and you got to give props to Villanova for being there to pounce.
How you doing? 3:48 though, still to play. Plenty of time for Ball State to find their way back into this one. But if you're Villanova, score again, build yourself a lead, get a cushion, and try to do your best to hold on to it.
And we know it's very much possible. Again, we've still seen, you know, consistent scoring from Villanova. Obviously not to the same realm as Ball State, but they've still been able to put away at least a couple goals per game this far. And you know, maybe getting that second one here, as you mentioned, could really hold things out and get that lead, and you know, then they could just try and hold it for 3 more minutes.
It's going to put a lot more pressure on Ball State if Villanova score again. So a 2-0 lead with plenty of time left, you know, obviously isn't a good situation to be in when you're up 2 against a really good team. But again, if you can score, the pressure it puts on Ball State might be enough to hold the line.
Maybe a look here for LJ trying to 50 his way through. Milky Boy will send it down middle. AJ is on it. That's a very aggressive look from the Cats. Ultor snapshot left side, perfectly placed on the far post end. We're all tied up.
And Ball State, it just felt like, you know, they're not going to go down in a game without scoring. So it felt like one is for sure going to happen, and we knew a 1-0 lead was not going to be enough.
I mean, this is where it gets tough now for Nova. I mean, they got the lead. Now they got to try and fight for it back. Maybe a look here. Milky Boy diving in. Variety will hold the line for a moment into the backboard. Ultor keeping it away from LJ momentarily. Jesse blocked by Milky Boy. Maybe a turnaround here. No. The clear will be made. AJ towards that corner. Ultor already lurking. Jesse backflip touch forward. It will be held well by Nova momentarily. Good 50 out, and they'll head back on offense.
Jesse up to Variety, a pre-jumping Variety that is as well. Almost found the connection. 2:10 to play as AJ goes high here, has no boost. Ball State back in Wildcat territory, under 2 to play.
Good dunk there from Variety. Jesse not quite ready for it. Ends up just missing on the far side. Old Sword dives in, wins it to the backboard. Quick turnaround for the Wildcats. Jesse outsped into the corner by LJ. Trying to get it off the ceiling. Variety, Ultor, and Jesse, all three there. But now Milky Boy going to get a little bit of time trying to play it around Ultor. That he does, but Jesse ready for the save.
Minute 36 to go, and Jonas, I gotta ask. Oh, never mind. Old Torch is gonna put Ball State in the lead.
What was your question, though? I'm curious.
Well, I was gonna ask you who do you think is gonna score next to take the lead, but Old Torch decided that he's gonna go ahead and score.
Yeah, probably Ultor. That'd be my guess. Yeah. Either way, I mean, he took control there, had an open look off the backboard, and we've seen Ultor just be automatic with those reads. And if you're Villanova, you just can't be given that room. And now he might have himself another look. Up high he goes, gets the reset, knocks it top right, and it just narrowly missed LJ. Got the clear. Now AJ is bumped by Variety. It's a wide open net. Jesse taps it in. It's 3-1 BSU, and that might be all she wrote.
1:17 to go. Ball State now just gonna hold on tight to a 2-goal lead here. Villanova now in a high-pressure situation.
Yeah, I could see Nova maybe getting a goal here, but I don't know about Two Nation. It is not a lot of time at all to try and add on another. They really need some help from Ball State, I think, really overextending. And they just need to try and find their way back. Ultor, he was looking for a fourth, no contact made. A good counter opportunity. LJ looking downfield for AJ, but Variety immediately intercepting. You can just see the Cardinals trying to keep Villanova limited to their own side.
They've done a great job of that throughout the whole course of the night. Villanova now have 45 seconds to score twice to get one bump and nothing favorable. As Ball State, their offense was too much to handle for Villanova's defense.
Yeah, it does look like this is just going to be it. Double miss out front there. LJ might have a look, but Variety is just pre-jumping everything coming towards the midfield. Another nice challenge here. Ultor serves it up middle. AJ could have a look, misses wide. It's an open net for Milky Boy. He gets there in time. Nova find one. There's still hope.
21 seconds to go. AJ off the assist. Milky Boy nearly had that one robbed from Variety. 21 seconds is not a lot of time, but it gives you probably 2 or 3 looks if you get the kickoff all your way.
Yeah, I mean, I said I think Villanova can get one, and I think that is their one. I mean, I'm just expecting Ball State to really shut things down now, but here's another look. No, AJ gets in front, and now the clear will be made. That may have been it.
Variety to midfield, gonna have almost a flip reset touch from Milky Boy there, but now Variety trying to find Ball State a victory. Here's 1 second remains. Villanova's going to go the whole field without dropping on the ground.
Yeah, but they can't do it. Ball State will take it in a clean 4-0 sweep. They move on to take on Middle Tennessee State. And unfortunately for Villanova, their season ends here.
That it does. Ball State will move on to round number 2. As now Ball State will play Middle Tennessee State next Friday.
Yeah, that should be a really good matchup. I'm expecting it to be so. Middle Tennessee State have looked really good as of late, and I kind of want to see them give Ball State a run for their money.
I do as well. Iceberg pre-fired the graphic for 4-0, and Jesse said right after, I'm going to throw C to remake the graphic.
He should have. He should have.
Well, I mean, how do you think Middle Tennessee State fare, though, with Ball State, realistically speaking? Like, is there a chance that the Blue Raiders can make this an interesting game?
I think there's a chance they can make it interesting. Chance of winning, I would say, is probably about 10% would be my odds. Maybe 20, maybe 15, around there. I think Ball State are going to look very comfortable. Obviously, we've seen Middle Tennessee State have some great looks. They have been on fire as of late, taking down Florida International. You know, a lot of people may have thought that UMass was going to take them down since they're a more experienced team in the MAC, but Middle Tennessee State swept them easily just last night. I mean, they very well could make it an interesting one. Ball State, they're Ball State, so you got to have them as favorites, but I kind of want to see the Blue Raiders make it really interesting. I kind of want to see the Cardinals get a bit of a scare.
Well, let's wait and see what happens. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, number 4 Grand Canyon takes on 13 seed Milwaukee to round out the round of 64.